Well, it goes without saying, Darren, disappointment today, a defeat against Altrincham to end a nice little unbeaten run.
The first half, I think, did the damage. We were so sloppy first half, not really a unit going forward or a unit defensively. They got through us too easily. We gave the ball away too cheaply. So, it shouldn't take words at half time to get them up onto the game, because as you say, they come back off a 4-game unbeaten run. They should have been brimming with confidence and thoroughly enjoying running around playing for each other. But it didn't look like that first half, and that I think probably that's caused us to lose the game in the end. I know there's decisions etc. didn't go for us, but if we'd have approached the game like we did the second half in the first half, I'm sure we'd have got something from it.
Did that have anything to do with the way you had to set up, with both? We were saying beforehand, when was the last time we went into a game without either Johnny Wright or Gareth Arneson?
Yeah, that doesn't make it easy, but it's not an excuse for the 11 that started the game. Regardless of who plays, they're told what to do. They can still run around and pass the ball 10 yards to a teammate, which was so sloppy in the first half. And then in the second half, we had to make the change, because obviously Philip had been out with tonsillitis all week, and it was touch and go whether we played him, but it was such a big player for us, so we had to take that gamble. It probably didn't pay off for us, and then I felt second half young Stefan came on and did very well, and we were able to maintain a bit of pressure.
The second half certainly started a lot better, but then of course the bolt from the blue was the penalty. Any objections about the penalty?
I thought so from where I was stood, but then having spoke to the players, I think maybe Carl's dwelt on it too much. He's had too many touches, and then as he's going to clear it on his third touch or whatever it was, the boys just nicked it in front. So David Hewson, I think, who was fairly close to it, said that he had no choice but to give a penalty on Carl's follow through his broke. Well, I don't know. It looked, he's gone down cheap. It looked like it from the dugout somewhere we were stood, but that's the unfortunate side of it. If communication's not there and you don't clear your lines, then you're susceptible to that.
And then we came back, and again, Dave McNiven got those 2 glorious goals of Blythe. I thought that was another top-class goal. Yeah,
good finish from him. I've had to have a few words with him at half-time. I thought it was disappointing for us first half. He gave it away a little bit cheaply. That's David's game. When it's into him, he's meant to keep hold of it for us and bring people into play, and he didn't do that very well first half. But as we've seen again, he can conjure a goal up out of nowhere, and it was a great finish. He was unlucky, I think, not to get a second actually, but for a great save would have probably come in 2-2.
Yeah, the last 5 minutes there, Stuart Green had an opportunity, shot just over, and then the keeper made the great save from Darren Edmondson. So a big finish which could have scrambled a draw in the end. Yeah,
from what we just said in the change room there with them, without 2 or 3 big players for us, just with a little bit of tempo and a little bit more determination in our game in the second half, we've equally matched a strong Altrincham team. They're very good going forward, and we knew that beforehand, and we had to keep our wits about us in the second half on the counter attack. But I felt we more than matched them in the second half, but a sloppy first half performance has maybe cost us.
Yeah, and the shame is that after such a decent run of form, within defeat, and then we got those 3 wins together, the draw last week, still just very much just above that relegation zone. There's got 5 or 6, even 7 teams who are all there fighting to avoid that 3rd spot, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's extremely tight, isn't it? So if we look back at the Nuneaton game, probably 2 points dropped there would have just kept us at the right end of that 6 or 7 team, sort of little league there that's now. But that's gone now. So what we have to do is take positives from the second half today and make sure that the momentum and their attitude is ready going into the first 10 or 15 minutes next weekend.
And first time ever the 2 teams have met next week. It's a long way to go for a game of football, of course, and a tough time to go away and stay overnight and then go out and play the next day again.
Well, you get the luxury of having a decent hotel to stay in, so they're a positive bunch of players. They're used to these journeys, Walshy. So at the end of the day, it'll just be another game for them. And as I say, we've got to take the second half into next weekend and start brightly in the first 10 or 15 minutes and put them under pressure.
You mentioned briefly there in passing on your report of the second half, particularly Stefan Scott. How generally did you think he fitted in? First time, it's not easy for a young boy coming in, and he did quite well.
Yeah, he's got a good footballing brain. We've known that. I've just the last 2 months I've been into him about improving his upper body strength. He's quite a tall, gangly lad, a bit like Gareth Arneson, but Gareth has, in the last year or so, has improved his upper body, and Stefan needs to do that now. He's still a kid, but he scores goals, and the goals he scored in the reserves have been excellent. So he's probably been thrown into action maybe a little bit sooner than we'd liked him to have. He's been training with us now for about a month, so we've been keeping an eye on him, and we've seen what he can do in training. And sometimes a young lad just invigorates the team with that sort of naiveness that they have about them, and the willingness to impress is sometimes infectious. And I think the second half that's what works. So yeah, he's shown us some good touches, and he will score goals.
And what about Johnny Wright, who seems to have been training for 2 or 3 weeks, but still not near a positive return?
No, we may have to put an injection in the ankle, I think. From what Neil Dalton was telling me at Carlisle today, was sort of make or break. I think I had him in just before lunch today doing some training with him again, and he's still got pain in the ankle, so he's going to have to go into a specialist now to see what we do with it.
And is that it as far as the squad's concerned? Are you still always on the lookout to bring players in? There's always an opportunity, if you can, that the right man becomes available, you'll be able to bring him in? Yeah,
I'd spoke to 2 strikers this week. One of them has moved somewhere else in our league this week. They didn't want to travel up to play for us. So, as I say, it seems like a never-ending story, this one. Why should we have this conversation a lot? And all I can say to fans out there is that the phone calls are still being made. We're still trying to improve the squad all the time. It's going to take a hungry kind of guy that wants to come and travel all this way to play football. So we have to keep looking for him. I'm sure they'll be out there.
Darren, thanks very much indeed.
Cheers.